Tēnā koutou katoa. Ngā mihi aroha kia koutou I tēnei ata. My name is Donna Kerridge. I hail from Aotearoa, New Zealand. My mountain is Taupiri, my river the Waikato, my people Māori. We bring greetings to the home people here in Slovenia. Thank you for your hospitality. We are all the living faces of our ancestors, and through them, we are all Indigenous to somewhere. We are the vessels through which they speak and act. We are them, and they are us. Our ancestors knew that Saturn and Jupiter had rings around her. Before there were such things as telescopes, NASA, or even trips to the moon. They knew about intergenerational trauma and how to work with that long before epigenetics was a thing in our lifetimes. They used the innate healing potential of our ecosystem to effect change. Call it superstition or magic, it doesn't really matter. We were able to perform miracles. Miracles do happen. They are real. They are just things that science is yet to discover. I have learnt through my experience as a servant to our people that disease has a definite pattern to it, born of growing dis-ease and disconnection from nature. When we are lonely, we choose different foods. We exercise differently. We withdraw after an altercation we don't know how to resolve. When we lack hope, we lean into addictions and, sadly, suicidal ideations, or worse. Many of us have lost our sense of belonging, our place to stand, and some of us have forgotten the gift that we each bring to this beautiful world. It is when we lose these connections that we become unwell. Many of us here will be city-born and bred. Nature, to many, is a nuisance. We don't like the wind in our face, the rain on our hair, the mud between our toes. We fear the extreme challenges that recent weather patterns are imposing as nature tries to heal from the indignities we have imposed on her. To survive, we must learn to adapt, but instead, we try to control. For example, by building higher and higher stock banks to contain flooding rivers. We have forgotten that rivers need a place to rest, to nourish the land that feeds us. Our stock banks only serve to speed the flow of sediment-laden water into our pristine oceans, choking them. It is by learning the language of the land that we access the code to our own well-being. We are the gifts. What are the gifts that the mountains bring? The birds, the insects, the snow. How do they each contribute to the well-being of the other? Nothing exists in isolation, so nothing can heal in isolation. As a species, many of us have almost severed our connections to the natural world. We might study it in a lab, but have little time to climb a mountain, walk in the forest, or swim in the ocean. And sadly, some of us can never walk the very land that we once learned from and belong to. As a result, we are becoming more and more disconnected and unwell. How can we heal as part of nature if we don't know nature? We heal when we return to the teachings of our ancestors, those who first walked our respective lands, those who harvested from those lands, those who were most connected to those lands. I exist only because of everything that existed before me. There is no me without we. When we look at a forest community and we look at the different layers within the forest, we see that the smallest trees protect the taller trees. The taller trees that grow into the sub-canopy, they are the scaffolding of the forest and enable the bigger trees to grow even taller and lean into the light. The taller trees shelter those below, those that once protected them from the elements as they grew. Our human communities need the same layers in order for us to survive. Our children are our inspiration to persevere and achieve the impossible. Our young adult populations are the scaffolding and infrastructure our communities need in order to thrive. And our elders, they provide the wisdom born of experience and the moral guidance to our young ones so that they can know their place in the world. When we know how to restore wetlands, we can apply that same formula to the care of our kidneys. They perform the same job. When we learn to heal a branch on a tree, we know how to heal our bones. And when we observe the plants that heal the earth after she is ripped apart in a landslide, we learn the trees that help us heal a mama after childbirth. Sadly, our human species has developed an almost addictive thirst for control and power that is born of fear. Fear of not having enough. The more we feed fear, the more things heat up. There is sufficient in the world for everyone. Nature cares for us all in equal proportions. She does not favour one over the other. We are all her children, and no one species, including ourselves, is more important than another. Humans, however, make futile laws in an attempt to own and control nature. We can't own nature any more than we can own our own brothers and sisters. We belong to nature. Nature will prevail despite our laws, but we may not. Ko au te whenua, ko te whenua ko au. I am the land, and the land is me. Our word whenua is the word we use for both placenta and for land. When we are nestled in our mother's womb, it is the placenta that sustains us. And as we are cradled into this world, it is the land that sustains us. And when we heal a mama, be that our birth mothers or Mother Nature, we heal a family. We humans are the youngest species on the land. And as such, we have a very important job to do, just like the youngest in our families. Our job is to care for our elders, those that were here before us. To do this, we must be well, and we must recognise that we are both physical and spiritual beings, and we must care for the glue that binds them both in order for us to be whole. That glue I refer to is our life essence, chi, or in my language, Māori. It is the gift of life. It is the gift of being alive. It is that point of union that enables us to be whole and be well. Our life essence can be observed in the metaphoric glow of a candle that exists in all of us. In some, that candle shines brightly, and in others not so. This metaphoric candlelight is a reflection of the strength of our Māori, of our well-being. The goal of rongoa Māori and other Indigenous healing practices the world over is to maintain and restore the dignity and life essence of people and place. The Māori of our world is maintained by the care that we give to the connections that we see and sense in each other and the natural world. It is these connections between the physical and the spiritual, the heavens and the earth, the seen and the unseen, that gives life and dignity to all. We must constantly evolve in an ever-changing world. Evolution is the energy that sustains life itself. But we must remember that to live in harmony with nature and each other and the elements, we must remind ourselves that everyone, human and non-human, on this planet is entitled to enough to be well. No more, no less. To take more is to steal from our siblings who give us life. So how does this all translate into functional health practices today? By seeing and treating people as part of a living ecosystem, rather than simply as minds and bodies that exist in isolation from the rest of our world. We cared for a gentleman who had an ankle injury that was not healing after many months of care. Using our Indigenous healing approaches, we asked him what hurt most about his injury. We learnt that he felt that he had become a burden on his family, no longer able to provide for them or even care for his young children, while his wife stepped into the role of both provider and nurturer. He had lost his dignity, his mana, and in doing so, weakening his vitality or life essence. When our head goes down, so too does our immune system. The healing prescription we offered was directed at restoring his dignity, introducing him to other ways of feeding his family and caring for his children. Ways that he could manage if only he let others help. And then, of course, pay it forward in the cycle of life once he had recovered. Once we cared for his dignity, gave him back his purpose, his ankle healed easily. When we are well when we remember how to restore balance by caring for the land that sustains us, reconnecting to our respective cultures, our respective ways of knowing, doing, and being. In doing so, we will once again be able to hear the whispers of our ancestors and become the gift that we are meant to be, and the miracle that the world needs today. Now is our turn to step up and care for the living web that we are all a part of. So friends, I invite us all to come home to ourselves, to each other, and to the earth. And in doing so, I ask you to join me in a blessing for our summit from my homeland. E toru ngā mea nunui, e ki ana te pai pera, whakapono, tūmana ko te menui, ko te aroha. This blessing is a blessing of hope, of having faith in a future ahead of us. But most important of all is our love for each other, our world, and especially the differences that make us all special. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā ka tātou katoa. Kia ora.